Well, hello there, and welcome to the Yucks Gaming channel. I'm your host, Yucks and the Yucks, inside of a Yucks. Now, today we're playing just a chill game. I feel like I need more time to talk about myself and my two favorite people of all time. So, what better way to do that than to pick one of the games that I am the most fan of? Oh my god, this is running kind of slow. I believe this will get better, but okay. Well, as you've seen, we descended from a spaceship and now we're crashed on an alien planet. I might die in this part because I'm a dumbass. Alright, just gotta put out all the fire here. This is one of my favorite games of all time, just because of how beautiful it looks. We got some animation right there. I really hope that this slow FPS rectifies itself. Because if not, I'm gonna have to go into some settings, which I know you guys love.
You have suffered minor head trauma. This is
yeah, there's gonna be a lot of talking. I don't care anymore. I really don't care. I'm just gonna talk over everything. Yeah, this needs to be turned down a bit. Alright, let's see. Let's just put the... Wow, this thing is over it and I can't get rid of it. Oh, you guys need to go on low. No bloom. No depth of field. I absolutely hate motion blur in video games. Why do people like it? All this should be on low. Good. Well, actually, no dithering. No dithering either. Guys, if you use dithering or motion blur in your games, why are you here? Okay, how good does this look? Not fucking good at all. Hold on a second.
The Database Bank for detailed survival advice.
This is better. Okay, well, some water's coming up. Yeah, this game's a little buggy. It looks like this low FPS is just kind of embedded into this game as a result of all of the overwhelming qualities. Anyway, yes, this is our ship. We are stranded in an alien ocean, and the goal is to make a rocket and get off the planet. And that's going to be pretty difficult. In fact, it may be more difficult than doing it in real life. Well, okay. I will say, though, that I feel like this game tends to be pretty, like, grindy. Both when you get on and when you start. Like, right now, I'm going to need tons of shit. Oh god, I've never played with like this much blur. I hope you guys can get used to it. Oh, okay, so I've made maybe 3 attempts at finishing this game, and every time I just end up using cheats because there's a blueprint aspect of this game, as well as an oxygen aspect in an ocean game. And while you could go creative and just like putz around, I actually do want a challenge, and I want to feel some sort of accomplishment when I finish the game. So I'm going to be the good boy and play the game the way they want me to play it. Already, we have a blueprint down here. That's a fish. Alien fish. Okay, so I need like a Star Trek scanner to scan things and find out about them, because my eyes aren't good enough. And you like see these creepvine trees. The whole thing looks really Earth-like, actually. I know that whenever people design art for alien worlds, they actually tend to base it off of a lot of not well-known aspects of Earth life, because there's so much we don't know about this planet. It just makes sense to kind of like use lesser-known parts and make it alien. I need a repairer. That's what I need. Is there a repairer in here? Nope. Alright. Well, I'm already lost. So it appears what I will have to do first is to build a tool, specifically a repairer. So I need silicone rubber, cave sulfur, and I have enough titanium. I believe that silicone rubber is made from 2 creepvine seed clusters. Okay, so I need to go out, find cave sulfur, and get some seed clusters from those trees. Then my ship will be back in order and I can start building stuff. I don't... Okay, well, school just started. I will say that. At the time of recording this, school has started. And I find myself bombarded by homework and also the pressure to do good, so I obviously just can't shirk this off. Oh god, that's loud.
Blueprint acquired.
Anyway, I don't have a whole lot today, so it would be smart of me, I guess, to do like 3 hours of recording and then split it up into multiple episodes throughout the month. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to record this in one small bit, because I do have other shit I like to do, like writing. I don't know if anyone knows this about me, because I mention it so infrequently, but I am a writer. I am currently stuck on one story, because it's a story that's just always come naturally to me. Of course, I've always lacked the skill thus far to bring it out. That's a volcano in my face. Move it, Chuck. Ah yes, ambient lighting, popping into existence.
Silver-based wiring is an essential component of many habitats.
By the way, gold is one of the least needed things in this game, and it's one of the most showing up. It's so odd how often gold shows up. Sometimes copper is more frequent than gold. And we didn't die, cool. Anyway, my story writing endeavors. The one that I currently am working on has been with me so long, and it reflects such a big aspect of who I am that it would almost be disrespectful just like turn it out into like a blog, like a blog story that some people make on Tumblr. Not to say that those are bad, but I don't want it to be like disposable like that. You know, I would rather work on it for another 4 more years and have it be published like as a book, because I'm not a whore for like recognition and all that, but I do just want this to be good and I want people to like it. And I'm told that wanting people to like your stuff is a surefire way to get over worried and end up making something that no one will like. So that's reassuring. There's a lot of good positive commentary out there about, oh god, that thing is beautiful, about how not to over worry. Of course makes me over worry. Let's see, cave sulfur, that's what I needed. But yeah, just in short, one of the reasons why it's taking so long is because I have such a problem with procrastination. And I actually read an article about how both writers and government workers are the only people who can just stop doing their job when they don't feel like it. You know, the government workers, if they don't get along, they can just say, well, fuck you, I'm gonna shut down the government, I'm not gonna work with you until you agree with me. That's really petty. You know what else is really petty? Saying that because you have a creative deficit, whatever that means, that you cannot complete your job. If I were a real author and I was making money off of my authoring, I would probably be very hungry from all of the writer's block I suffer from. Oh my god, okay, I need to get into a cave to find this, but I'm gonna come up for air and just do a deep dive real quick. So, while that is something that was written in a negative eye, I guess, to like shit on authors who claim that they have writer's block, and for someone to claim that that's not real, it's kind of an intense move. I might die, I might die, I might die. No, I'm good. But yes, it's certainly something that helped me. I need fucking cave sulfur now. Where is that from? That's the sound of cave sulfur.
For cave divers is loss of orientation, followed by eventual asphyxiation.
Yeah, that's gonna happen to me. I'm going to die. There is no way out of here. Well, this is my first death. Cave sulfur, get it. I got it. Okay, I hope I spawn with it. Yeah, so when you die, you respawn. Usually with most of your stuff. I think the way that it works is that it'll take away whatever you recently got. Well, okay. I got my cave sulfur. I believe I can make my repair tool. What did it take away? That's right, I gotta make silicone rubber. Or actually... No. Okay, no, I just put it in the thing. I have very little recollection of what I was just talking about, but it was probably about... Oh yeah, okay. I'm not an organized person. I believe in organized chaos, or whatever you want to call it. Like, all the shit in my room is just on the floor in a myriad of positions, and I can work it out. I know where I put things. But when you want to sit down and write, and you have a scattered train of thought, and you just can't get words out easily, it's really difficult to just sit there and be like, this needs to be done, this needs to be done, this character needs to see this, I need to write this scene like this. Especially when you're overcritical on yourself like me. And there's a very big difference between being self-critical and being overcritical. I am pretty overcritical of myself. I can't... Oh my god, if these robots would shut up, hold on. About talk-to-speech systems, I kind of like the aesthetic of like lower tech text and speech over the appeal of like a robot that actually sounds human. Like the Commodore 64 software automatic mouth sounds so cool to me, and it is such a piece of shit. But you know what? It's really nice to hear a computer from the 1980s sing the Star-Spangled Banner recognizably. I'm going off into the sunset for literally no reason. I need to make more stuff. One of the gripes I do have about this game and this design is you see this really spherical cloud right there that's always there? Yeah, you see that one there too? Those are islands. Yeah, but you're not supposed to be able to see them, so they put clouds in there and they don't look suspicious at all. And oh my fucking god, I will need a flashlight. Play this message.
This is Aurora. Distress signal received. Rescue operation will be dispatched to your location in 9
Could use that.
9 hours. Continue to monitor for emergency transmissions from other life pods.
So
Weapons were removed from standard
silver
survival
ore,
blueprints following the
copper
massacre
wire.
on Abraxas Prime. The knife remains the only exception.
Okay, so two table coral samples and some silver. I don't think I'll be able to get silver in this light, so I might have to make a flashlight first, and that's just gonna be a waste of material. There's a lot of cool shit in this game, by the way. I'm not gonna act like this is my first playthrough, because it's not, but probably the best design I've ever seen for like an alien creature is the Ghost Leviathan. I really didn't think that they could improve on the Reaper Leviathan's design, but the Ghost Leviathan looks so badass. I want it for everything. I want a giant-ass poster of it in my room so that I cannot sleep because I have nightmares. That is some bad shit going around me, and I don't like it. Get away. God, how hard is it to find table coral? The answer is not very, so that's why I'm asking the question. Why is it taking so long? There it is.
Detecting increased local radiation levels. Trend is
since I'm already running out of stuff to talk, I guess I should bring up that one of the new subjects I'm taking is sociology. And my teacher referred to sociology as a soft science. And for the first time in my life, I actually accepted sociology and psychology and meteorology and all of that stuff as like true science. Because I kind of have a problem when it comes to science that like if I can't directly, like people are as inconsistent as the weather. We could all agree on that pretty much. So to have a science based around something so inconsistent didn't sound right to me. And like until just a couple of hours ago, I didn't accept it as a science, but she phrased everything in a way that made complete and perfect sense to me, and I understood what I was misconceiving, and I fixed myself. I corrected myself. And that's why I think that having a really open-minded view of the world is such a good thing, because I'm not particularly stubborn on anything, maybe like one or two things that are controversial. But the thing is, I never allow myself to be put in a position where someone who knows more about that than me couldn't talk me out of it. I always want people to be able to talk to me and change the way I'm thinking. I want the world to interact with me. I don't want to like have this isolationist thinking that causes me to be stranded. Similarly to this person on this planet. Getting quite metaphysical on you. Yeah. So, direction is important, I would say. And one of the questions I've had on my mind for a long time has to do with objectivity. And it came up when I was looking into politics, because, you know, everyone apparently strives to be objective about things, but my question was essentially, well, maybe you lose something when you're objective about stuff. Maybe it is more important to rather instead of detaching yourself from both parties, to associate yourself with both parties. And instead of trying to be objective, you get this kind of collective subjective experience where you know what both parties want, how they both feel, what they need in order to survive, instead of like treating them as a science, which they are not. That was pretty impressive. Okay. So I honestly don't know which way to take that. The way I've gone about it recently is the collective subjective way. And basically what I've done is I've started exposing myself to like more radical, I would say, people. One of the great deterrents in arguments is when people get angry, because I believe that passion is good for a conversation, but like uncontrolled passion is not good. And I would say that I've allowed myself to like encounter more angry people, and it's affected me in a way that I can understand with both parties more. Just like in my example. I need a light. That's what I need. Sorry, I'm a little off track. My brain's all over the place. I need 2 quartz for that glass, and for a battery, copper and 2 mushrooms. So I might just have to wait until day, which was ungoddamn fast. Really goddamn fast. So, in opening myself up to all that anger, I realized that it's not as bad as I thought it was, because it is a way of forming your opinion. And I guess getting mad is an acceptable way to voice yourself. Now, to me personally, I still think that it demonstrates like a certain lack of emotional control, and that's not always what you want for like a leader or for someone who's trying to tell you what to do. You don't want them to scream at you, "Don't let me fucking die. I'm gonna fucking die. I need a respirator and shit. That's what I need." Okay, well I'm just outside the life pod. I'm gonna crawl over here and my shit's gonna fall. My second death in my first playthrough. You can get stuff to upgrade your breath, but I'm fucking poor. So I just started the game. That was pizza, by the way. Yummy pizza. Also, as long as I'm voicing stuff, I've recently gotten more into politics, which is something that I've always tried to steer myself away from because I feel like it's really decisive and that there's not a lot of tolerance for centrist people. Like, I feel that a progressive vision might tolerate a centrist view more, but whenever it comes to right-handed people, at least in my experience, and I'm not trying to offend anyone here, if you get offended, let me know why and tell me why I'm a dumbass. I just feel like right-handed people, or not right-handed, right-wing, fucking A, those Republicans always getting mad and saying what needs to be done, as opposed to these Democrats, the left-wing people. I wasn't trying to name any parties, but okay, you caught me. I was talking about Democrats and Republicans. And I find myself being centrist because I do believe that people are more important than businesses, but I also believe that maybe the Democratic Party ignores business too much. Okay, I'm not good enough at public speaking to be talking about politics, I've decided. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents on an issue that I very briefly and shittily mentioned. Have at it. I know Michael Milner from Lakeview Centennial High School is one of the few people who will watch this, so Michael, I want to say hello and thank you for supporting my videos. I am very pleased that you actually spend time on this and that you appreciate my commentary. And as such, I'm striving to make a better effort at it. I'm trying to think about where my base should be. It's probably going to be down here by this geothermal vent that I've never seen before, and is quite ominous. Okay. Yeah, look, they have all these starter cozies set up. I'm gonna die again. Fuck. That's silver. That's lead. I'm just gonna stay right here. I'm gonna die. This is a dying game, to be honest. You don't lose much. One thing I can say about game design is that I find that games are either way too lenient with the death penalty being like what's supposed to keep you from dying. Like, I died right now, so I have to go and get all my shit and be careful not to die again, because then I'll have to go back and get my shit. And that's a pretty adequate punishment when you're 2 feet... Well, no. When you're a moderate distance away, it's really balanced. When you're right next door to all your shit, it's not balanced at all. And when you're literally 2 kilometers underneath the ocean, that shit ain't balanced, because I just lost that thing that I spent 2 hours trying to get to, and I'm pissed. And that's just in this game. I mean, okay, the first game that ever introduced me into the revive function was sadly Fortnite Battle Royale. And since then, I've played, what is it called? That Microsoft Zombies game, State of Decay 2. That introduced me into the other revive function. And then on top of that, I've also recently played Black Ops 2. So my experience to the revive function is pretty new. And what I would say overall is that I don't think that... Hold on. I misphrased. Fortnite doesn't have a fucking revive. No, it has a... Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Jesus. God. My mind is like scrambled eggs. They're all yellow and pissy.
Oxygen.
Anyway, I feel like that encourages multiplayer, but also because everyone can revive you, it also encourages like reckless behavior. Because there's not a real punishment. All you need to do is find cover, and you can get down as many times as you want. You don't lose any weapons. You don't... Well, you lose health, and you lose shield. But you can always get those back later. Like, it's not that hard to get back up to 100. And in Black Ops 2, I feel like that game is really unbalanced in some areas. It's a fun game, don't get me wrong, but it's really unbalanced in certain places. Like, I was playing Mob of the Dead with my friends David and Jose. Alcatraz Island, really compact map. If you die and you spawn in on like level 24 and you don't have shit, you're gonna get butt raped by all these zombies that have like several thousand health, and you have like a starter pistol that does like 10 damage. So every time I would die, and my friends wouldn't be able to get to me, because these are hard-ass zombies, even for them, like I would always die really, really quickly. And I would never be making progress because I had died, and because I had died, there wasn't any way for me to get back on top. It was like a casino mindset. Like, I failed once, and I wasn't able to make it back up, so like I couldn't play anymore, or at least not properly. And that's really punishing. And Jose only confirmed my belief in that being really unbalanced, because we started a game like maybe 10 minutes faster than he got on. And he was like, you guys are already on round 5? No, I'm not gonna get in. Like, that shit's too hard for a starter right now. Or something of that sort. So that's one problem I find with modern games. As long as we're talking about games, let me, give me a chance to suck on Half-Life 2's dick for just a second. I like that game, but it's a gray area in some areas. Because... how can I phrase this? It's undeniably a good piece of storytelling. It's a half-ass shooter. Not that I was good at shooters, but I had fun with it because it was a half-ass shooter. Really basic. The art style is pretty good, but everything seems to come down to like the limitations of the source engine. Because you have certain auto respawn levels, and for the most part, that shit in Half-Life is expertly placed. Like, they got a team of designers that were like, okay, How far away should we put these to ensure that there's a penalty, but not too big of a penalty, so that people will want to keep playing our game? And they did it beautifully. Really, really beautifully. Like, sometimes you die and you feel like you're back an acceptable limit. Like, all the time. But then, because that is so consistent and so perfect, it really, really fucks with you whenever you get put back, like, maybe back 3 minutes of work. 3 minutes isn't a lot in, like, something like this game, but in a fast-paced game like Half-Life 2, 3 minutes is the fucking world. Like, you're supposed to complete a level in Half-Life 2 in 3 minutes. Like, you can't spend that long trying it over. And I need fucking gold. I need it! Is that a stalker on me? Jesus. Another weird debate that I've heard, referring to Half-Life 2, I'm getting way too close to this fucking volcano, is that Half-Life 1 exhibits better design choices than Half-Life 2. I'm gonna die. Which, for the most part, I haven't really... Well, there's a video on it, and that's where I got this idea from, and I didn't really listen to it all, obviously. So I can't form my opinion on that. But I do feel like Half-Life 1 does more with the AI. Like, there are... For example, there's an NPC called the Hound Eye. You encounter it, like, maybe 20 times. Encounter being, like, there's a level set up to where you can experiment with the AI without dying. You maybe encounter it in that form, like, 10 times. So, you wouldn't notice that, like, there's a sleeping function or, like, a pack function for them. Like, these are modeled after real dogs, and they can really take, like, a pack stance on everything. Like, that's such an incredible amount of, like, design. And, like, the Vortigaunts were one of the first enemies ever in any FPS game to flee. They don't do that in Half-Life 2, but, like, these are creatures that are scared for their life. They fucking run away from combat. How new and intelligent of the storytelling, but also how bad do you feel when you have to gun him down because you gotta get by this one, but this one keeps fleeing, but he will still attack you so you can't kill him, except you gotta. I feel like I'm wandering a bit. I need gold, and I need to find a better cave in this, I'll be honest. Because I've been talking, I've just kind of been going half-assedly into this cave, and I'm sure it's driving everyone insane. They spawned me in a small-ass biome. It's not normally this small, is it? I'm gonna wade down here to the shallows even more. Move past this gastropod. Speaking of Half-Life 1, apparently Black Mesa Zen is, like, supposed to release this year. No jokes, guys. I'm really excited for the art that I've seen. It looks absolutely gorgeous. These people have put some really, really hard effort into, like, completely upheaving the source engine and what it can do in terms of visual aspects. And since, like, the Zen levels were one of the shittiest levels, aside from On a Rail in the original Half-Life, they've also redone most of the gameplay. And I haven't even played the Zen levels, like, at all. So my complete first experience with this will be from them, and I hope that they don't let me down, but I'm sure they won't. Seriously, how fucking hard is it to get fucking gold? I just talked about how gold was, like, really fucking easy earlier. Don't make an ass out of me. I'm not finishing this until I have gold. I need something. Yeah, this is the closest that you got to land if you never knew about the fucking islands, because you can stand up on this. Can't see it from anywhere else, so... when it comes to commentary, I feel that I'm constantly surprised by how much I can talk. Because I'm sure that whatever I'm spouting out right now seems intelligent, but it's actually just the rantings of a madman. And you see, it's because I'm not thinking up all of this on the spot. I've actually thought all of this up in my head, and I'm just going along with the flow, yo. Like, these are all things that, like, I think about when I stare dead-eyed in class. I'm like, was Half-Life 1 better than Half-Life 2? So that's a weird way to commentate. Because most people I know that commentate on the game. And I'm sure that if I were commentating on the game right now, and I was just like, man, this game is really hard, I have to keep going up for air and shit, like, Michael would probably be fucking killing himself right now. I want to see if I can get a respirator. Like, how hard is it to craft a respirator?
Continued degradation of the aurora's drive core may result in a quantum detonation. Continuing to monitor.
Oh, I need one more. Nice. I wish I knew it was that simple. By the way, +1 sin to this game for fucking using the word quantum detonation. What the shit does that even mean? Is the fucking quantum foam gonna rupture? No. The universe is not gonna get a butthole from this explosion. Way too many advertisers and just people put quantum at the start of everything. Actually, I have titanium back there. I've been wandering around like an idiot for zero reason. They put quantum on everything, like energizer, quantum. Quantum means small. It means like the most... the irreducible part of reality. What does that have to do with your battery? No, you mean that your battery is from the future, because the future is quantum, apparently. And it's just a horrible misconception that really gets to me, because I'm certainly not certified in anything to do with quantum physics, and in many cases I know I'm wrong. Like, I just straight up take what I hear in an artistic viewpoint, and it works for me. This is rocking like a hose. Something's bumping outside. That said, I do understand like various aspects of it, and I know what I'm talking about half the time, but it's just that what I say might be corrected at a later date. I'll put it that way. Like, I don't know what is absolute fact and what is, you know, a theory that most everyone presumes, so take it at your own pace, you know, if you don't believe in it. Like, I honestly don't know the difference between interpretations, because I know that there's at least two very integral ways you can look at quantum physics as a whole. And recently I was introduced to a third called pilot wave theory. And okay, since a large majority of the people who view my content are actual quantum physicists in some sort of way, I'm just going to talk like this. So the original quantum physics that uses the Copenhagen interpretation and the mini-worlds theory and all that, it basically works on a probability distribution. Like, there's no certainty that anything occupies one state at a certain time. Instead, it's just a probability of where everything could be at a certain time, and weird properties emerge from these things. And the pilot wave theory is kind of weird, because it embeds chaos theory, kind of. I'm really gonna fucking lose my mind if these pieces of shit kill me. And in chaos theory, it basically says that when, in the double slit experiment, whenever electrons act like a wave, what's really going on is that there is kind of a pilot wave that dictates how all of these electrons are going to move based on chaos and entropy. And so there's the pilot wave itself is the wave of electrons that we observe in the Copenhagen interpretation. I'm just gonna stand on here and talk for a bit, because I'm fucking doing shit at this game, so I'm just gonna talk. So basically, it states that if you have enough computation, you could compute where this one electron is going to go, because in pilot wave theory, you can know both the momentum and the, I forget what, probably inertia and momentum of an object, which you're not supposed to do in any form of quantum physics. So this is kind of groundbreaking, because it changes like the whole weirdness structure, and it just says, no, it's like normal physics, just slightly weirder. But no, there's no teleportation or shit, you dumb shits. So everything is like solid and rooted in reality in this form of quantum physics, and I don't like it. But it was a pretty nice interpretation, because even though it went against all of my artistic stuff, like, I realized that most of this stuff is a theory, and as a theory, like, it can be rejected. And that kind of ties in earlier with what I was talking about, like, holding heavy on your own beliefs. Like, you can't do that. You have to be open to interpretation. Otherwise, you just kind of end up, like, really rough and inaccurate. Like those damn dirty Republicans. So anyway, I've gotten dick shit accomplished this whole first episode, so I'm just going to end it here. I'm going to come back to rant later. I'm hopefully going to be useful at something. It's that one fucking gold nugget. I got that shit and I was like, man, this shit is so easy, bruh. Because last playthrough, that shit was everywhere. I had vaults full of gold that I never had to use for anything, and now it's just this one stinking pellet that I can't find that's keeping me from progressing. And now that I have my respirator, I could actually probably go get it, but I'm tired, and I want to write, And I'm a little stressed right now because my ex is my lab partner in physics. That's all I'm going to say about that. So if you like this video, drop a comment down below, like it, share it with your friends so that you can inflate my channel. I'm going to do a second part of this eventually. I might do this daily, but I'm probably not going to upload it daily because it takes some effort, and I'm lazy. So I'll see you all in the next video, broskies. Yo.